Alright, we're once again here in a borrowed shop from my grandfather because it's winter in Canada and it's cold outside and there's a wood stove here. Today, well, my windshield wipers quit. I suppose it could be a switch, it could be a fuse. It's not a fuse, we've checked that. The switch, we're going to check that before we pull the motor out. But based on the way they quit, pretty sure it's a motor. Now, most videos on YouTube teaching you to do something are made by people that know what they're doing. Here's the thing, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just forced to learn by necessity. I can't wait the length of time I would have to wait for my shop to get this in and fix my windshield wipers. It's my daily driver, I need it back, and it is winter. So, I went looking for videos to show me how to do this. There are none. I pieced together a few to sort of help figure it out, but frankly, there are none. So, we're going to change the wiper motor in a 2005 Nissan Frontier together. And I'm not pretending to know how to do it, I'm figuring it out. Alright, as I mentioned, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I know the first thing that's going to happen is these wipers got to come off. There's a cap right there. There was a 14 mil nut. The first one came off without much fuss.
You're videoing that?
I am. And the second one is now free. Now we're going to work on this cowl. I know there's some body clips underneath, and there's likely something underneath this piece of trim right here that you can see, so we're going to go ahead and figure that out. Further investigation reminds us that there is an aerial right here that's got to come off before we can do anything else. So we're going to thread that off of there. Then we're going to work on that cowl. There'll also be a windshield washer fluid hose somewhere that feeds your sprayers. So until you find that, or rather I find that, don't go pulling on stuff too hard because you'll break it off and that would just cause problems. See, I told you I was going to pretend like I knew what I was doing. You see my grandmother over there sweeping the floor. She might wave at the camera if you asked her nice. But anyway, this piece of trim right here has body clips that run all the length of the front of this cowl that we've got to get out in order to take it off. So we're just going to go ahead and work on that all the way across. Try not to lose any because I don't have any spares like that with me today. Alright, we've got the cowl free. I'll show you the underside of it in a minute, but there's that windshield washer hose that we were waiting to find right there. So we're going to go ahead and take that off at this joint so that we can move the cowl. And if you can see it in the camera, which I think you can if I lay it out, there's body clips that run right along here. I got it off without breaking too many of them, just a couple. Yeah, we'll call that a success. Alright, we're in. We found the wiper motor, the cowl's off. There's a linkage right here that has to come off. A nut and a washer. I don't know if you can see that down in there, right on the bottom of your wiper motor, right down here, to get rid of the arms that run your wipers. So when I reached in there to take it off, I got some good news. It was already off. So somehow the nut had come off of the wiper motor. The motor itself still works. So as long as the shaft is still good, then I'm in business. I don't need my new motor, which means I just saved myself a little over $100, and I'm quite happy about that. But if you had to change this, it's quite simple. you're gonna pop this. There's 2 bolts right here and a bolt right here. The whole thing lifts off this way and works up towards your windshield. This isn't a full hole, it's like a slotted hole right in there on this bolt. So you just push it up and you take it right out and you put the new one in and away you go. I'm gonna go ahead and reconnect the linkage and see if I got lucky today. Alright, I'm sure as you can figure out, everything goes back together in reverse order, so the cowl's on there. Don't forget to hook up your windshield washer hose. That would be annoying to have to take that back apart. Put the little rubber piece right here that goes on over where our antenna threads in. Don't forget that. And we're just gonna go ahead and stretch this piece and all of its body clips right back across here. There's 2 little clips to go in on each corner. I don't know if you can see where my hand is or not. Right there, and on the opposite corner. Took them out. We should probably put them back in. Push rivets. You can hear the snow blowers coming. They've been working all morning out there. A major storm last night. They're tunneling us out while I work here in a nice warm shop. Isn't that nice of me? Alright, we're going to spin the aerial back on. And then once we get that on, it'll be wipers, test it, and hopefully go home. Those push rivets aren't seated quite the way they should be, but I'll get them on the way across as I work through there. Go ahead and cycle the wipers, so hopefully they're in the off position when I put the wiper blades back on. Right one on the right side, which requires me to remember what I did to begin with, which I probably don't. Try that right there. Might not be low enough on the windshield, but hopefully it will be. They were hitting on the cowling actually when they were coming down before. They were set just a little low, so I'm experimenting with solving that problem. Small lift kit on my truck. What that means is it's hard to to reach things like this. It's not a tall one, it's nothing special, but it's enough to make this job annoying, we'll say. So I got me a little stool, I'm standing on the tire. We'll figure this out, I'm sure. Try. Nope. I got something hooked up not right. That's what's going on here. Alright, so here's what you missed while we were off camera. Remember, my problem I thought was this wiper motor right here. And as it turns out, my actual problem was the linkage right in there. It won't come into focus. We're trying. There we go. This linkage right in here goes onto the bottom of the wiper motor, right underneath where my finger is. I can't put my hand in there or it will obstruct the view and you won't be able to see it. But because that linkage was off and broken, I could not see the proper orientation of it. So through trial and error, mostly error, because remember, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. We figured out which way it was. So here's what happened. When I put it on the first time, put it all back together, rookie mistake, should have kept it like this. I had this linkage further up, which means that my windshield wipers weren't going to line up right when they went to the off position. And I thought I probably could fix that just moving the arms. I thought wrong. So lest you think that, that is roughly what your linkage should look like when it's put back together. Here's the problem with that. When it's in that orientation, there's no room in there for a normal ratchet, nor is there room for a socket. So in a fit of frustration, I was getting ready to cut my 17 mil wrench in half. That's right. I know that's not rational or logical, but don't you tell me there aren't some of you out there right now thinking, yeah, that's what I'd have done. I was pretty close, and my grandfather told me that he had some stubby wrenches. Now, they weren't metric. They were standard. Now we're getting into real farm mechanics here. But they were enough that I could get that nut tightened without stripping it, just enough to run my wipers and shut them off in a different position, and then I could get my socket in there, tighten it up proper. So I think I got that lined up right. We're gonna go ahead and put this cowl back on again, and then hopefully we'll be done. All packed up and ready to go home. Hear my grandfather over there sanding again. Like I said, bless the putter in the same space as him.